welcome back to my channel. First of all, I'm so sorry about the glare from my glasses on the ring light. We're just gonna have to make do because your girl has an eye infection, so I'm really sorry about the red eye and that you all have to look at that in today's video. Just look at Patrick, okay? We are here to talk about October's book club book pick, which was The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. I had never read this before. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I actually haven't seen it in a long time. I did put it on hold at my library. My library didn't have it, so I had to get it from another one. So hopefully I'll get it. Well, I won't get it this there's a chance I could get it on Wednesday. Otherwise, I won't get it till the next week. So we'll see. But I feel like the movie was quite comparable to the book. So it'll be interesting to see if I'm remembering correctly. I feel like it was. So I really enjoyed this. First of all, I wasn't sure if I was going to vibe with the writing at first. I was like, the writing style was a little bit different. I'd be interested to read more from him to see if I vibe with it. I only say that because I know the story of The Exorcist. So I'm like, did I like it only because I knew the story and I liked the story? Or did I like it because I liked his writing? Oh, deja vu. I feel like I said that about this book as well. American Psycho. But I really liked this. As the more that we got into it, because at first you're talking about some dig or something in Iraq, or pardon me if that is not where we're talking about. Talking about well, I don't know if I can say that because I don't know if that's PC to call someone that. Talking about Arabs. Talking about Father Marin. He is on some sort of assignment somewhere. Which, of course, and there's a person there saying that I wish you wouldn't go home. I wish you wouldn't leave. And Father Marin is thinking he's talking about right here. And he's like, no, like, I wish you wouldn't go home. And little did he know that, yeah, he's predicting the future, basically. So that's leading up to the end of the book. And there's going to be spoilers in this review. At this point, if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, that's on you. So just know that there's going to be spoilers. But you see the first chapter is regarding Father Marin, and then you don't see him until the very, very end. The exorcism itself is like 10 pages. It's the last 60 pages, but it's like it's like 10 pages. It is the littlest part of this book. Of course, what's happening to Regan is the whole book itself, pretty much. And you get glimpses of what's happening to her and interactions with her. But the exorcism itself with Father Marin and Father, I can't remember how you pronounce his name. Karas? We'll just say Father K. Damien, is like 10 pages long, which was really interesting. Because in the movie it feels so long, but it's probably not that long in the movie either. So, being inside her mom's head, I didn't love either, like the internal monologue. And I think it's just the way that William Peter Blatty was writing her. And she had a phrase in here. She would say, "What doing?" or "What's doing?" or something. Oh my God, that drove me nuts. Did people talk like that back in the 70s? Was that like a phrase that people said? What doing? Because she said it a lot and I wanted to punch her every time she said it. It's like, what are you doing? Because that just bothered me. But anyway, this is about Regan and her mother, Chris. Chris is it McNeil? Y'all, I already forgot. Not me forgetting their name already. She is an actress and she's making a movie right now with Burke. I already forgot his name too. It's Burke, but I can't remember if that's his first name or last name. I'm also reading 4 books. Well, 3 now because I finished this one. So it's not like I'm mixing books up, but I have a lot going on in my brain right now. Dennis? No. Anyway, the director is Burke, and he's kind of a drunk, and he goes over to Chris's house a lot, and they're like friendly with each other, but he's kind of a troubled person. But anyway, he's the director of the movie that Chris is on, and Chris is not really feeling this movie. She would rather be directing, and Chris is kind of like dealing with these feelings of death that she keeps talking about, how she feels very, she's just feeling, she has these feelings of death and sadness in her life that she cannot explain, and that she's trying to figure out why she's been feeling this way. So that's being vocalized as well. And she has seen the Jesuits, Father K, Damien, and as she's walked by, and like, I don't know, she's feeling a lot of feelings. Damien, Father K, I feel like he's our main character. Even though Chris and Reagan are like the main characters, like I feel like my lights just did something. That was creepy. I feel like Damien is like our main character. And I loved him. Oh, do you guys just love Damien? He is very, very troubled. He is dealing with his mother, who does pass in this book. She passes quite early on in the book. And he's dealing with, obviously he's a a priest. And he's also a psychiatric priest, a psychiatrist. And he's dealing with his own faith and questioning it a lot throughout this book, and questioning how he dealt with his mother and her issues because of the route that he took in his life, being going the church route, and being quite poor. He wasn't able to help his mother as much, and he has a lot of guilt. He's feeling a lot of guilt about that, and not being able to put her in a place that was more, I don't know, that was more helpful for her. She died alone, and she died in not a great place, and he's harboring so much guilt about that. And yeah, he's just carrying a lot of that guilt with him, and thinking like if he would have gone into a different profession, that he could have put her in such a better place and took care of her better, blah, blah, blah. So Damien's dealing with his struggles. Chris is dealing with her struggles in her profession and dealing with these thoughts of death, which you don't really know where that's coming from. And then there's Reagan, sweet little innocent Reagan, which this book, I don't think it's scary. I'm sure at the time this was absolutely horrifying to people. And it's very, very, very disturbing. I will say that. It didn't scare me though, but very disturbing and hard to read at times, because it's this sweet little innocent, what is she, like 10 years old, saying and doing these, when she's possessed, absolutely horrific and vile things. I mean, horrific. But before that, she's just this very sweet, very innocent child. And you come to find out that there is a Ouija board in their home, and that Reagan has been using it, and that she's been talking to someone called Captain Howdy, I think that's his name. Which, girl, what are you doing? Like, why were we letting our children do that? So she's been using a Ouija board, talking to Captain Howdy, and Chris doesn't know how she feels about that. Which, do y'all think that that's also why Chris was starting to feel thoughts about death and like feeling depressed? Sound off in the comments. So they also have two, like a maid and a servant, and then Sharon, who is a tutor for Reagan, who's there a lot of the times as well. I'm trying not to go like full depth, but I want to go in depth as well. So blah, 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 things are happening. Not blah, blah, blah. Things get into it pretty quickly. Reagan starts showing, first Sharon says that her math skills for lack of a better term, are declining, which is very strange for Reagan, that she's just not like understanding things like cognitively as she was, but specifically math. And then a couple other things. They're hearing sounds in the attic, what sounds like Chris thinks are rats. So they have the servant put traps up there, but the servant is telling them like there's nothing up there. Like it's a very clean attic. Like there's no like rat droppings, whatever, nothing. So they're like, what's going on? And Reagan also says that she hears them too. And there's a few other things that starts happening. Furniture starts to be in different spots than it usually is. Like big pieces of furniture that Reagan couldn't move herself, that two people would need to have moved, and things start going missing. Like Reagan had a dress that she wanted to wear and it showed up in like Chris's closet or something. Like kind of silly things like that. Paranormal type of things, but they are not anywhere near thinking paranormal, okay? We are so far away from them thinking that. It takes many, many pages for them to get to that space, which is a little frustrating. But again, why would your brain go there, right away? So, well, then Reagan starts getting much worse. She starts acting out and lashing out. And Reagan is this very quiet, sweet, like natured child who just is not like that. And Chris brings her to the doctor, and the doctor said something like, has she ever used like expletives or whatever? And Chris is horrified by this. And she's like, oh my gosh, no, like, what do you mean? And the doctor said, well, she said something pretty startling to me when I was examining her. And Chris said, what did she say? I'm not even going to repeat it because Reagan says some really vile things, you guys. Like, she's using the C word left and right, the B word, the every word. I mean, you guys, she is talking about like her genitalia all the time. Like, she is talking about everything under the sun. If you've seen the movie, you know too. But Chris is horrified that Reagan said this to the doctor, and said it so like nonchalantly too. And Reagan can't really remember saying these things, or is like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't say that, or, she can't really remember these times where she's lashing out. And she spit at the doctor as well. And so at this point, they're thinking it's some sort of like psychotic something with the brain, but all of her scans are coming back normal. And y'all, they're going back and forth about this. And poor little Reagan is just getting worse and worse. And it's come to the point where she has started to just have to be in her bedroom like at all times. And it started to come to the point as well where there's horrible smells coming from her room and emanating from her at times. And it gets really bad. And the doctors just cannot figure out what is happening to her because the tests are coming back okay. And they start giving her lidocaine. I will put it on the screen. Oh, what is it called? Librium. They talked about it a lot. I knew I would find it. They start giving her Librium because they cannot physically control her. That's how strong she's gotten because of the entity that is in her, the devil or whatever that has gone inside of her. Oh, something that happened before, if you've seen the movie, I was just waiting for this part to start or to happen because I was just like, oh my God. Chris has a dinner party and Reagan comes downstairs and says there's an astronaut there. And she goes, you're going to die up there, and then pees all over the floor. Very, first of all, not funny, but all I could think of was Katya. If you know, you know. But anyway.
You're gonna die up there. I'm Katya.
So that was a really big indicator of Chris wanting to take her into the doctor as well, because she started doing things like urinating and saying things in her sleep and doing things in her sleep. So things like that. Well, then the things just got worse and worse, like peeing and defecating on herself, and then started saying all of these things. I'm really skipping a lot of stuff, but I think you guys get the gist of all of that. Then they start saying that maybe it's over the guilt of her parents divorcing and all of the some of the stuff. Someone did say that it's very outdated, like psychological doctor stuff information, which yeah, I can agree with that. But I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, you know, some of it's not great, but you have to think about when this was written too. So suspend some belief. I mean, suspend belief. It's an exorcism taking place, but it got a little bit frustrating that it took so long to get to an exorcism point, especially when Father Damien, I'm just calling him Father Damien because I don't know how to pronounce his last name, got involved. Because it's like, can you not see what is right in front of your eyes? Like, my goodness. But I get it. They were just really, I think he was really trying for it, wanting it to be anything but that. So I understand. But she gets so bad to the point where she has to be restrained. She's on this Librium, like 400 milligrams, like an insane amount, just to keep her like in somewhat of a sedated point, sedated state, so that she doesn't hurt herself or others. Here's what happens. A bit of a miscommunication. They call in meds for her. Chris is somewhere. Sharon, they said that someone was going to come bring the meds to their house. That person couldn't come, so Sharon has to leave the house. There's no one with Reagan, okay? Because the servants, there's a backstory with the servants as well, which I'm not going to get into, but it's worth it in the story. I don't remember if this is in the movie or not. It's worth it. I'm just not going to get into it because for sake of time, but they were both out as well. And it's relevant because of the whole Burke case. It's probably in the movie too. I just can't remember. It's definitely relevant, but it doesn't matter right now. But anyway, Burke is over, the drunk director, their friend, and he's the only one there with Reagan. And apparently he hears her like screaming and blah, blah, blah. He goes to check on her and falls out of the window. Okay, so Burke is dead. Spoiler alert. Well, everyone just thinks that he fell down those stairs. You know, the iconic stairs in The Exorcist. Well, first of all, is the Kinderman, whatever guy, detective guy in the movie, as annoying as he is in the book? Oh, I just like wanted to cry every time I saw that he was coming up next on the page, because I couldn't freaking stand him. But anyway, I saw that he was in the next book, and I don't think I can do it. But anyway, so then the detective gets involved because it looks suspicious the way that he died, because his head was completely turned around. Like his head was like, his neck was snapped, like his head was completely turned around. He had all of these weird things happen. We know now that Reagan did it. She didn't, but the demon, the thing that possessed her, did it. Okay, so now that whole backstory is going on about this horrible detective guy. Oh my god, I literally could not stand him, you guys. But interviewing people, Chris is thinking like, oh my gosh, I know what did it, I know who did it, but she does not want him to know that. Or she's thinking like, I have a feeling Reagan did it, but I don't want to believe that too hard, you know? Like, oh my gosh, is Reagan possible of actually doing that? I don't know, you know? I think, did she kill someone else too? I mean, I know she did later, but I feel like I'm missing a death. Anyway, so there's that whole backstory about him trying to figure out how he died. And then poor Reagan is still just going through it. And Damien is meeting with her, trying to figure out what is wrong with her and what is taking over her and if she is possessed. And he's thinking, okay, maybe it is a possession, but in order to do an exorcism, I need to get permission from the church. And he needs, basically he needs like this, and this to show them that it is in fact a possession, and that he can be granted exorcism, if that makes sense. And at one point, Sharon tells him to come over, and they go upstairs to see Reagan, and on her chest, it's showing up, it says like, help me, in like writing, like coming through her chest. And he's like, apparently that's all he needed. That was like the nail in the coffin, so to speak, of him, of all the, what's the word I'm trying to think of? That's all the facts he needed to show the church, like, hey, here's what I got. Can I do this exorcism? There's a lot more to it, you guys. They went through so much trying to, is it this? Is it this? Is it schizophrenia? Is it all of this? Going through all of this stuff, trying to figure out what this poor girl had and what was going on with her. And there is a lot in between about Damien visiting and interactions with Chris and everything like that. So I'm really, you know, there's a lot more that happened, but... And a lot more stuff that's happening with Damien behind the scenes as well, that I am glossing over. He really is like a main character here, and he really is going through a lot. And it's so worth it to read the book to get all of that. But I'm kind of just trying to go through the main points of the book. But we finally get to the permission to get the exorcism. And they don't think that Damien should, one, do it alone, and one, be the main person performing the exorcism. They think that Father Marin should do it because he has performed one before, and he's very seasoned, and he's older. He's an older gentleman, and they get permission to do the exorcism, and Father Marin is on board and shows up at the house, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. And you also realize that Father Marin is not very healthy. He is obviously has some heart issues going on, which will come up. So he wants to get started right away and meet Reagan and see what he's up against. And oh my God, y'all, I would like to, I feel like, oh my gosh, Reagan actually, there's a great part in the book where the demon, or is it Reagan, whoever is, I can't remember, mentions Father Marin, but it's backwards. They think that she's speaking gibberish, but she's talking backwards, and mentions Father Marin before they even know of Father Marin and know that he's coming to help. It's so good. And Father Marin tells Damien to not, that it is only because Damien says, I believe that there's 3 people inside, blah, 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 3 entities, demons, whatever. And Father Marin says, there is only one. It's only one. And if it tells you otherwise, it's lying. Do not listen to it, blah, blah, blah. And at one point, the demon starts talking to Damien as his mother, and it's very, very, it's very sad. I do remember this from the movie, and it says like, why do you do this to me, Dimmy? You leave me to be a priest, Dimmy. Send me to an institution. Now you chase me away. Why do you do this? Yeah, and he said, you're not my mother. You're not my mother. Dimmy, please. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's horrible. But Burke Dennings, that's his name. What did I say? So then she sometimes talks like her Damien's mother, and then we'll talk like it's Burke Dennings in this like British accent. And Burke told them how he died. So that's how they found out that he was thrown out the window, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, crazy. And then they start to realize that Regan cannot sustain what's happening to her body much longer. Her heart is going so fast because this demon is not allowing her to rest. It's basically putting her heart into overdrive and not allowing her to rest. It's not giving her any sustenance, and she's going to go into cardiac arrest. She's going to die. They just don't know what to do. And Father Merrin tells Damien to leave to go rest, which is pretty yeah, it's important. And he does, and I'm gonna be so honest, I don't remember what happens when he goes to rest. Oh gosh, you guys, the ending is so intense. I can't remember what when he goes back. Oh God, he goes back and sees Kinderman or whatever his name is. Yeah, Kinderman. And I'm just like, can you let the man sleep? Like, can you? Oh, and then he sees a picture of Regan and this like Mother's Day poem, and I think something just like hit him. I think he just like couldn't handle it anymore. And that part was that part almost made me cry. Just to think of like, because Chris kept saying like, I keep forgetting that you've never met her, that you've never met Regan, because he's only known her as this other thing with this like demon inside her. Every time she said that, it just like hurt my heart, because yeah, he had never met Regan as like sweet, innocent Regan. So then he's like, he's over it. He's done. He's like, this has to be done. And he goes upstairs and he sees that Father Merrin has passed away. His pills are scattered on the floor. He has had a heart attack, which Damien realizes why Merrin had told him to leave. He sensed it coming. And Damien's like, enough is enough. Take me. You're so big, you're so mighty, and this tiny little girl, so what? Like, so what? Good for you. What can you do with me? Take me instead. Come to me, come to me. He's like, come on, try me. Leave the girl alone. Take me, take me. And then it says, in the next instant, Kara's upper body jerked sharply upright with his head bent back and facing up to the ceiling, and then convulsively down and forward again. And then, his hands were reaching out to clutch the throat of a screaming Regan McNeil. And it does not end well for our Damien. Or does it? What do you guys think of Damien's ending? Spoiler alert, if you've never read this or watched the movie, Damien does end up going through the window, splat, just like our little Burke Dennings. He doesn't die instantly because his friend, which I can't remember, from the church or whatever, does come and talk to him. and like read him his last, not his last rites, but whatever, as like a priest. And it's very beautiful. And to me, I think that I see it as him dying happy, knowing that he saved Regan. And I feel that in some way he was at peace with himself finally. Maybe he was reunited with his mother. I feel that he was at peace. And good Lord, the man could finally rest. He didn't have to think about money. He didn't have to think about his job anymore, about where his next meal was coming from. You know what I mean? Like, he was truly at peace finally. That's how I kind of thought of it. I don't know. What do you guys think about Damien's ending? Obviously, I'm very sad that he did not make it, but I kind of think that something like that had to happen in order for Regan to get better. I don't know if they would have been able to do it any other way. I'm just not sure, because that was such a powerful entity, and I think Regan would have died otherwise. I don't know. Poor Regan. Oh, and then at the end, when Regan is saying goodbye to the other priest, Dyer, Father Dyer, I think it was, when he's coming to say goodbye, and like Regan looks at him and gives him like a kiss on his cheek or whatever. Like, she's just so grateful for him. Oh, that made me cry too. The ending is very powerful. And I don't know. What do you guys think of the ending? I really liked it. Obviously, horror movies very seldom have happy endings. So I think all in all, this was a happy ending. I've seen the second Exorcist, like once or twice, but again, it's been a really long time. So I should maybe watch it again, but I don't know. I don't think it's that great, but I just really enjoyed this, and I really liked the ending. Like I said, I think it had to go the way that it went in order for Regan to survive, and I think that the ending had to happen the way it did for Damien as well. I think that that's how his story had to go. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think he was finally at peace, maybe? I don't know. Do you guys interpret that a different way? I'm not sure. But I really loved this. I'm so sad that I waited this long to read this book, but I really should have had our next book club picked out for this video. Give me a minute and I will. Hold on. Okay, y'all. I was gonna pick a different one because I couldn't find this one, but I found it. And now everyone's gonna be happy about this, and it might be hard to find because it's old. It's older. I think it's from the 70s. Let me see. 1973. But I think it's like kind of a cult classic, so stick with me. Y'all, remember when I thrifted this? My cover needs some tapes, some love, but Harvest Home by Thomas Tryon, a brilliantly imagined horror story. Now, y'all know this is also the 70s, so they were doing horror. When did this come out? 1971. So it could be good. An authentic chiller. If you're looking for a tale that grips and won't let you pull away, Harvest Home is made to order. Look at the cover. It's giving Thanksgiving. It's giving. Wait till you see my Thanksgiving shirt, by the way. I'll wear it when I review this book. I'm so sorry for the glare, you guys. I can't help it. So this will be our November book club pick. I did check Fable, and they do have it. So, if nothing else, you can get it on Fable. Or if you're lucky enough to find a thrift store like me, I need to tape this. But this will be November's book club pick. You can find my book club on the Fable app, the DNR, the TBR, and I always say the DNR, the TBR and DNF book club. I always link it down below in my link tree. And I hope you read along with us. I'm really hyped for this, you guys. Is it going to be so cheesy and stupid, or maybe it'll be good? Maybe it'll live up to the, I don't know what this is about. Oh, Sheer Evil. A chiller among chiller. An unhinging experience. Okay. I don't know what it's about. And you know I'm not going to look it up either. So, even more creepy crawly than the other. What's the other? Like, his other books? Or did he have a book called The Other? Anyway, we don't know. We'll never know. So, that's going to be our book club pick. So, yeah. Let me know what you thought of The Exorcist. If you have read it, if you did read it, let me know all your thoughts. I want to hear them. And thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below if you were not subscribed. Please subscribe. I would love to have you here. And I will see y'all in the next one. Take care. Bye.